Stay focused, man.
I'm just saying.
Focus, man.
We good.
I want us to do the right thing for this client.
Welcome back to the RealT podcast. My name is Kenny Donnell. This is my wife, Tanika Donnell.
Hey, y'all.
We're so glad that you are joining us today, and we ask that you will, if you're not following us, please subscribe. Hit that notification button up there so you will be notified of all the great things we have going on. But today we have the Honorable Judge Kim Cooks. How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today. We're very excited to have you.
We appreciate you taking out time out of your busy schedule. And just take a moment and tell a little bit about yourself to the viewers.
Okay, now how far back you want me to go?
You know
I
where
can
I
wanna go.
Talking.
Oh boy, we got to do it today. However far you want to go, we're going to ride with that. How'd you get started?
How did I get started?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole long story. So initially, growing up, I always wanted to go to school to be a doctor. And I actually did go to undergrad. I have a biology degree. I was pre-med.
Okay.
And my senior year, I decided then that I was going to law school because I worked at Presbyterian Hospital, and I just didn't like the way the doctors treated people. The service to me was not customer service, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I decided to go to law school, and I thought I would go to sue the doctors, but that didn't happen. But I did end up going to law school instead.
And what did your parents say in your senior year when you switched it up like that?
Oh, they didn't care because, I'm originally from Colorado, and they didn't want me to come out here to go to school. So they was like, you go to school in Texas, we're not paying for you to go to school.
So
And
they
they meant
anyway.
Right. So they didn't care.
Okay.
So you graduate, you get the law degree. Where do you go? Because that's so many avenues with law. Like, what vein do you go in?
Okay, I'm in Houston. When I went to law school in Houston at Thurgood Marshall School of Law, and then I started out at a commercial litigation firm. I didn't do that. I only did that for maybe 3 months because I actually wanted to be in the courtroom. So then I went to the prosecutor's office for about 1.5 years, and then I was in private practice. I had my own law firm after that.
How long did you have that?
For 13 years.
And specializing in criminal, like what were you specializing in?
Criminal, juvenile, family.
Is that all where your heart is, all 3 of those?
Yes, helping people is where my heart is.
It's tough starting a business, period, right? And so for 13 years, you had your own practice. And the only, I think, examples we typically get about how lawyers get business is from the TV shows or the commercials, right? But how was it, because I'm assuming that you may have never started a business before, right?
Never started a business before.
How was it getting into that field, opening up your own doors, and then getting clients, and then doing that for 13 years?
Well, look, when you think about the areas, we're talking about family and criminal. So everybody's got a family issue. Everybody's got a problem. So then when you network, because I believe in networking heavily, you meet people and you just tell them, I practice law, this is what I do. And then eventually business started coming in, and it got to the point where I didn't have to advertise anymore.
So how was sort of dealing with individuals who had their life in your hands, like that part of their life? You know what I'm saying? It's easy for us to sit back and we think about all the challenges we have that we're going through just from a business perspective. But people are dealing with real life issues. People are dealing with family issues and struggles and challenges. And to pick somebody to represent them and to help them, you carry that burden.
Well, what's most important for any attorney is honesty, and a lot of attorneys aren't honest. So I was very much so honest with my client. After they told me what the facts was, I'll tell them, we may not win this case because these are the reasons why. You can go hire somebody else. They can give you a dream, but I'm telling you that we probably won't win this case. All we can do is try to minimize it, try to negotiate, or try to do something else. So if you're honest with the people and it's their choice, I mean, how do you not go to sleep at night?
Yeah.
You were honest.
Yeah.
So how did you transition? You were in Houston at the time, correct?
I was in Houston.
How did you get to the Dallas area?
Well, yeah, initially I went to undergrad here at UT Arlington, so I first came to the Dallas area.
Okay.
I came to the Texas area because my father is originally from the Austin area. After I got a divorce, I moved back to the Dallas area, so that's how I ended up back in Dallas.
Okay. So coming here, 13 years in Houston with your own company, and then here, how did you transition here? What were you doing?
Well, it wasn't 13 years completely in Houston.
Oh, okay.
In 2007, I moved here,
Gotcha.
back here. So I still had a practice in Houston and opening up another practice here in Dallas. So that's how I transitioned that. And then in 2013, I decided to run for judge.
And so let's talk about that a little bit. Running for a judge. I mean, why that? Why that move at the time?
Well, when I was in law school, I interned for a judge, and that was during, I don't know if you all remember the Andrea Yates case. It was the lady who drowned her 5 kids.
Yes.
I was with that judge during that trial.
Really?
And I was like, man, one day I think I can do this. I want to be a judge. Yeah, so that's how that occurred.
That's a real life. I mean, like everybody knew about that case, and you were part of that, and that instilled in you, I want to be a judge.
Right.
Okay. So what are the steps for someone like that is saying, hey, I have a vision? How do you get to become a judge?
You know what? I actually never thought about being a politician and never thought that running for office meant I was a politician.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that people would be so ugly, so nasty, and come up with lies and try to like defame your name and all those things.
Yeah.
So you've just got to have tough skin and just, focus on what your goal is.
What makes you different? What makes you Judge Kim Cooks different? What
makes me different is that I don't think I'm better than anybody else or that anyone else is better than me. So even though I have a lot of titles, I still go out in the community. It's no neighborhood I won't go into, because I want to learn about what are the issues that the people have. So then when I'm in court, I can solve those issues and understand the cultural differences. So I think that's what separates me from a lot of judges. I don't just campaign during election season. I'm out there all year long.
Do you think the community as a whole, as you think about the challenges sometimes the community has with either the justice system or the community has with the police system, fully understands the system?
They don't understand the system. They don't understand, like a lot of times people will get upset at the judge and it's really the jury who made the decision, or they'll get upset at the judge and the judge just followed the law and the hands were tied of the judge. So she had to make the decision, she or he had to make the decision the way they did. So a lot of people don't understand that.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
How do we, what are you doing? What's your platform? You're running for what again? Tell us
I'm running for the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals sits here in Dallas, but it covers 6 counties. So it's Dallas, Collin, Hunt, Grayson, Kaufman, and Rockwall counties. And they handle the appeals of criminal as well as civil cases. And I'm running for place 11. The election is March 5th. So what does appellate judge do? So when do you have decisions from the lower courts, if you had a trial by jury or a trial by judge and you don't like that decision, you think there was some type of error, whether it's procedural or whether it was by the law, then you appeal to the Court of Appeals, and the appeals courts reviews the file to make sure that everything was followed.
Yeah, that's a heavy responsibility, I gotta imagine, right? Do you see historically, and I don't know if this is even anything you can kind of look at or even think about, but historically, do you see a lot of those things being overturned?
It depends on who's sitting there and who's reading it and who understands like the whole context of the whole file.
Okay.
Because you can actually sit on the Court of Appeals and make law. It's not just the legislators that make the law, it's also the Court of Appeals justices that make law.
Huh. Now you know the next question. you know the next question. How? Like, expound on that.
Because when it may be something that there's no law to, and then they write an opinion, and that opinion is the law at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it becomes.
Okay. So that's a lot of weight and a lot of responsibility. Yeah.
So besides being a judge, I mean, you're beautiful, you're phenomenal, you're brilliant. What else are you doing? I've heard fitness. I know you're a mother. What other components of Kim can we talk about?
You know, I just feel like there's no limit to what any person can do. So yes, I do the whole bodybuilding thing, and then I have a real estate license. I have a personal trainer license. I do. I have a medical technology license. So mediator certificate, all of those things. But you know, I don't have time to focus on a lot of them. But
how do you have time to do all that and raise a son too? How do you do this? How do you prioritize?
Well, the real estate is on the back burner, although I just was appointed to the Professional Standards Committee.
Okay.
So we'll see what 2024 holds for that. Yeah.
You know, you didn't answer the question.
Yeah, she kind of.
She just kept like, how you prioritizing that thing? We all want to know now. We're like, okay, so we know real estate is on the back burner, but active judge.
Yes.
We've been to the gym, so we've seen you in the gym, right? Mm-hmm. So working out consistently, and then having a kid, like that's a lot. That's a lot, and you don't have a little job.
No,
right? The job itself is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. You know what? I'm in the gym early in the morning, though.
Yeah.
So before anything is even open, anything else is open, I'm in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like grounds me and gives me my sanity and just clears my mind. And it's time where I can just focus on me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you have to do that in order to be able to complete all the tasks that you have to do in a day.
Right.
So what is a typical day for you like?
Every day is different because I now sit throughout the 6 counties, so every day is different. I'm in Collin County sometimes, Kaufman County, Dallas, so it's different.
Yeah. People, I say people, I speak for the people. I speak for the people. People will get their education usually from TV or social media nowadays, right? And as you're sitting and you're hearing these cases and your cases are before you, how do they not become internal? Like, are you able to separate these two worlds?
Like departmental
from your world, your reality, and then someone else's world. And now I have to be this judge regardless of how I feel about it. Or can you separate?
No, I separate it. When I walk out of court, I don't think about it anymore because I've got so much other stuff going on. So,
yeah. But is that easy?
It's easy for me.
And have you always been able to do it, or did you kind of just grow into that?
No, I've pretty much always been able to do that.
Yeah, that's a skill.
It is a skill. What would you say to young people who are interested in law, who aspire to do what you're doing? What kind of nuggets can you give them of inspiration or things that they should be working on right now to get their trajectory going in the right direction?
If you can get an internship, that would be great. I mean, try to get to know like a bunch of lawyers, judges, be in those type of circles. If you can't get an internship, volunteer, because you may think that that's what you want to do and it's not what you want to do once you get into it.
I didn't even know there were a bunch of opportunities to internship.
Yeah, a lot of the judges, especially in Dallas, they're friendly judges, so they don't mind.
We talk to a lot of people about sort of the mindset change or challenges. So people we hire, especially some of the newer agents that come into the industry compared to people who've been here for a while, Do you see some of the newer lawyers, people who want to be a judges? Is the mindset the same, or are they like, I want it now? How do I fast track this thing?
No, the problem with their mindset, and I see that from sitting on the bench, I would see like new lawyers come up and they think they know everything and they don't. And they don't come prepared to court. And then it's like you can't even tell them because they are offended when you try to tell them, hey, pull them aside. They're offended by it. So that's the unfortunate thing of the new generation. And you know, even with COVID, they don't really want to go to work. They don't want to go to work. I guess that's why. Right, they want to Zoom. They don't want to go into an office. If you offer them a job that they have to go into an office, they don't want the job.
So has that have to change how you hire people now? How's that impacted the courts?
Well, there's a few people out there. You got to find those few rare people that still want it.
You know, with so much in technology, there's some industries that I'm not sure how technology is going to impact it, right? But with so much going on with AI and ChatGPT and all these things, do you see any impact so far, or has there been any rumblings on how it might even impact the justice system?
Well, you know, I have read articles where lawyers have gotten in trouble because they've used ChatGPT. And then, you know, I guess I have not used ChatGPT, but it's like there's errors in it. I think that's not good lawyering because you should be able to think on your own and write up things